Good evening and welcome everyone. I'm Sheetal Rastogi. We are here for Cocktail Hour series by World Travel Magazine. Thanks for joining us today. I hope everyone is healthy and safe. Any guesses where we are headed today? Let's find out. Being confined at home for almost 6 months now, it's no more fun. We all want to go out. Let the visuals of today remind you that there are better days ahead. That's the objective of our Cocktail Hour series. The idea is to get the traveler in you to start thinking about authentic getaways once again. We are, we are at a golden triangle towards the northern edge of Thailand. There are only a handful places like this. Let's virtually walk into Anantara Golden Triangle and its surroundings. And while we do that, I want you to keep your eyes on the lush green scenery, hills and jungles that we see. It's hard to say where the resort ends and the jungle starts.
Thanks, Shital. Hello, everyone. I am glad to take you on a virtual journey to the mythical Golden Triangle today. Located in the far north Thailand, where the border of Thailand, Myanmar, and Laos are crossing, the Golden Triangle is a legendary location. Famed for the centuries of battles for its control as well as for the opium culture over the last 2 centuries, the name Golden Triangle actually dates back to the second half of the 20th century. Triangle due to the three countries, golden because 1 kilo of gold equaled 1 kilo of pure heroin. The resort is perched on a ridge overlooking the border with Myanmar and Laos, offering uninterrupted views on the green jungle and mountains from the north. The term physical distancing here takes all its sense, as the only creatures you'll get to come really close to are our gentle giants. Thailand is now open for domestic travel, and we have been welcoming guests for about a month. As the government follows a strict policy putting health first, has managed to keep a very low number of reported cases in the country. We are unsure of the timeline for borders reopening, but we can't wait to welcome back guests from abroad, and we are ready.
I hope you enjoyed these gorgeous views of Golden Triangle. Well, I'm keeping a tab on when the Thailand borders are going to open and we can all travel again. But for our viewers in Thailand, you should go and check out your neighborhood in northern Thailand. And my guest for today is an adventure lover, experienced crafter with over 15 years of experience in luxury hospitality, Godric Herring, General Manager of Anantara Golden Triangle Elephant Camp and Resort. Welcome, Godric.
Thanks, Chital. Good
How are you
evening.
today?
Good evening from the Golden Triangle. I'm very good. I'm sitting in our beautiful jungle bubble right here in the north of Thailand. We're very lucky with the weather. That's why you might see me sweating a little bit, sitting in there at this time of the day. And I've got some friends in the back.
Yeah, I see we have two more guests.
Correct. I thought, well, since we're here, we might as well, right? That's the beauty of the virtual experiences.
Yes, indeed. And these two elephants are the neighbors in your bubble tent. So this is the tent which was recently launched, I understand?
Correct. So we started our jungle bubble mid-December. And two of the elephants you see in the back are Pumpui and Da. They're two of our oldest elephants that we've had here for the longest time. Not the oldest elephants actually, but for the longest time. And the bubbles are actually named after them. So I'm sitting in Pumpui now, and the other is Da. The elephants are favorite from our guests when they usually come here to visit us, because they're two very, very good friends, and they're constantly together. They're what you call BFF, I believe.
Wonderful. And how did the idea of bubble tent came about?
Well, when I arrived here about a couple of years ago, we wanted to start doing some new experiences and really start pushing even more the boundaries with what we do with elephants. So I discussed with our director of conservation about the potential of fences and having elephants free roaming in there, and how could we, bring guests really to experience as close as possible and in the as much naturally as possible, something with the elephants. How could you observe them, without being an annoyance for them? And so I remembered from my time in the Maldives before that, having seen this kind of bubbles before, and it all came back. And I thought, well, we could probably combine these, because also the sky in the Golden Triangle is very nice, very starry. So you could have both these night sky experience and having the bubbles as close as our elephants here, right? And so we got kind of a perfect storm, I would say, where we got our beautiful lush jungle around this private space, these elephants that are very gentle and very nice together, hence they don't cause issues. And then we managed to create this bubble space where I call it, for me, if you've seen Netflix, Planet Earth, right, with the commentaries for Sir David Attenborough, I call it a Planet Earth on IMAX, but for real. It's really that, you see the elephants all night long behaving and acting naturally, and you just don't interact and watch them from the comfort of your bubble.
Yeah, and is there any opportunity? I'm looking at more for families with young kids where they want to get close to these elephants, their neighbors. Is that an opportunity as part of their stay here?
Correct. So we got a lot of different experiences with the elephants. The bubbles, we've got two at the moment. They're linked with a small bridge, so families can stay in the bubble. We can even fit up to 4 people in the bubbles, right? The bed is very large. We cannot fit extra bed. However, as I always say, the night in the bubble is a very comfortable night, but it's not supposed to be a good deep night. It's supposed to be an adventurous night. So you have the chance to see and observe the elephants overnight. So hopefully you don't get too many hours of sleep, because you'll hear them cracking things and you'll see them doing things overnight. You'll see them lying down, you'll hear them snoring, foraging for food overnight, and that's really what we want. So it's very, very family friendly, obviously. And I mean, elephants, so what best is there for kids?
Yeah, and while staying at the bubble tent, I'm assuming that it's like your other hotel suites and rooms where breakfast or meals can be served as well.
So the dinner is being served. The way it works is the bubble, and that's the reason why you see me at the moment being a little wet. It's very hot during the day, so the bubble experience starts from 6 p.m. Sunset time. So the sun is a bit more down, so the temperature is cooler, right? It's fully air conditioned inside, but during the day the sun is too strong. Air conditioning cannot help. Then we serve you dinner in the comfort of your bubble. You stay here. It's just you and the elephants. No waiter, no chef. Just you enjoying the dinner. And then when the sun comes up in the morning, you've got amenities in the bubble. So you've got your coffee and everything, and you can enjoy. But then around 8 a.m., we also take you back to the resort for breakfast. The reason is it just starts being really hot again. And really the main purpose of the experience is the elephant overnight, which is something you can't observe, right? Even if you go in a safari, wild elephants, you'll never get to approach them that much and to see them overnight in the transparency of the bubble.
Yeah, I'm sure it must be an incredible experience having your morning cup of coffee or tea by these bubbles and while watching elephants in this area. That's really interesting and amazing, and I'm sure it's excellent for families with young kids and actually for all ages, whether it's couples. You can watch at night the starry sky and we bring that adventure back.
Correct. I mean, when you're lying on the bed, you don't know where to look, quite honestly. I mean, whether it's the sky or whether it's the elephants. I think we had guests I did not have the chance myself to sleep in there when it's rainy, but we had a bit of a thunderstorm the other day, and we had guests sleeping in there, and they were like, you should imagine during the night. It was absolutely amazing to see, lightning over there, and to just be so comfortable inside the bubble and seeing the elephants just chilling in front, not caring. So they didn't really know where to look. It was a constant amazingness.
Yeah, and Godfrey, the Golden Triangle region, we just saw a video before. it's all covered with greenery, lush hills, and beautiful terrains. It'll be
Correct.
fantastic to have a convertible and just get the views of the hills and the countryside. Do you have any experiences in terms of where either you uh, rent a convertible, or I hear that you have sidecars, the motorbikes with sidecars
Absolutely.
as well, where you can
Convertible
where
are
guests can
so
actually
2000.
experience it.
Correct, correct. Convertible, are so 2000s. We take the expense much further now. So we've got a couple of sidecars that we've had since late last year. Royal Enfield sidecars, which I'm sure you'll be able to see soon when we start touring the resort a little bit.
Ah,
But
we get that. We're getting the view. That's nice.
oh,
I see your
fantastic.
two bikes.
Absolutely. So these two sidecars, they're Royal Enfield Classic 500. So they're for guests not to drive because you need a motorcycle license in Thailand as well as a proper insurance to drive. But our team members drive the guests around, and it's so much better than driving in a Jeep or in a car. You don't have a rooftop. You are with your helmet. You're close from the road. You have a 360 view on everything. I have to say, at this time of the year, particularly right now, it is amazing because you get to go through the rice fields and see all the plantations. Obviously, these are vehicles that are pretty rare. I think there are less than 10 hotels in the world having this kind of transportations, and in Thailand you don't have a lot of sidecars like that. So the locals, whenever they see the sidecars, you can see the kids are literally running after them and waving big times and are so happy to see them around. So that's an absolutely fantastic experience.
Yeah. And these experiences, I'm assuming these are available throughout the year.
Absolutely. 365 days a year, excluding obviously world events that might stop that, as unfortunately we had for the last 3 months from April to June. But other than that, it's available year long. Look, we're in rainy season right now, or what you're supposed to consider rainy season, and I'm sitting in the bubble sweating.
Right. And I see that this must be a very adventurous trip in terms of take these experiences, either start in early morning or during the evening hours. Are there any restrictions in terms of who can, I mean, can kids go with one of the parents in one of these sidecars?
So no restrictions in terms of age, right? In terms of people, we kind of play it by the ear. It depends the age of the kid, and depends the size of the kid. I mean, if you're 7 years old and you're on top of the growth curve, I'd say maybe you have to go by yourself. Or if you're 7 years old but you might be maybe a bit more tiny, you can get with your parents. So we can fit two people in the sides. I think morning or evening depends which kind of person you are. I personally love a sunset tour. That is absolutely amazing. The golden hour. It's just stunning.
Yeah. And are there any particular experiences designed towards the sunset?
Well, we've got a lot of different things. We've got private dinners that we can arrange with our sala on the Ruak River, which you mentioned is the natural border between Myanmar and Thailand. We'll see it later when we are seeing our suite. These dinners, we take you on a boat tour on the Ruak, so really right on the border. You sip a glass of bubbles. 45 minutes sunset time, the light is coming down, and then you head back direct to your deck where your dinner table waits for you with a waiter and a private chef. So that's quite something.
Oh, that's amazing. So do we get to see the interior of the resort? Maybe if you can can take us
Absolutely.
along.
So this right here is our entrance. So the resort is quite special, right? I mean, the feeling. So you can see one of our bellboy right here is doing our ritual for arrival, right? Doing the drums. The arrival is something that people always highlight because the architecture really resembles the one of a temple. It's being beautifully crafted. It's particular from the Lana architecture. I think that the colors, have been carefully chosen and integrate so well in the jungle. Our gardens were designed by Bill Bensley, so all this entrance comes from his design. The resort itself is 31 years old, but you couldn't judge where you're coming. That's one of these intemporal design look. So that's our main corridor leading to our front office. What you can see in the middle is a triangle that is typical from north of Thailand, that represents a battle between the monster from the Mekong and the local divinities. You can see on your left are our front office team members, which I'm glad to report are at work. So this is good to see. Wearing masks at the moment, as we all are in the resort.
That's
around
the new
guests.
normal.
That is the new normal. We've got amazing masks, which if you still see my video up there, you can see we've got beautiful smiles on it, because Thailand is the land of smile, right? So we wanted to make sure that even if you can smile through your eyes, our guests can still perceive it when they're here. And right now, our camera is heading toward our bar. Our bar is a fantastic, wonderful place, which is crafted a little bit in a colonial style. I mean, you're not sure, are you in Africa, are you in north of Thailand? You're 100% sure that you're going to see beautiful animals. One of the main feat from the bar that people always appreciate is the fire pit, which you can see up here now. The fire pits, one might think, is that just a decoration element in Thailand. However, in the north, comes November to February, the temperature can actually go down to 5 degrees Celsius overnight. So it's definitely a hit with our guests during this time of the year to be able to sit by the fire.
So you do
Correct.
get a short winter as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm lucky. I've been living in beautiful places for a while, so I would say I'm what you call tropicalized. So I get very cold as soon as it's 15 degrees Celsius. So definitely when it's 5, it's quite something, especially in places like this that are very, very open. So our air conditioning systems actually over the winter are they work both ways and have inverters, so you can use them as heaters.
Yeah. So
this right here is our amazing swimming pool, ranked yearly in the top 10 best swimming pool by Condé Nast. It's fantastic. You can see here again elephants absolutely everywhere. So this is an elephant shower that you see right here. I think we're very lucky at the moment. I mean, look at that. The weather is stunning. The reflection in the water
clear sky, clear blue sky, and we are seeing the mountain range as well, the hills behind.
Correct. So the mountain in the back. So this is Laos, which you see right there.
Nice. So we are in Thailand and we are seeing Laos right now.
That I have to say, this was my biggest disappointment being here for 3 months, was to not being able to share it with guests, right? I know that I'm thinking about people in Singapore or Hong Kong, and that I had to stay there, we just want here with the team, we want to be able to share that.
Yeah, and I can tell you that equally, I think people are waiting for borders to open, and definitely they'll start traveling, and that's the reason, and that's how we started the series, to inspire our readers and viewers to engage and to start thinking about these holidays. And I'm sure our viewers from Thailand will be enjoying, and they'll start to plan, because right now is the best time to enjoy the domestic destinations within Thailand for Thai people and expats living in Thailand, rather.
Yes, the country is fully open for domestic tourism at the moment. The borders are still closed. I think wherever you are really in the world right now, there is not much we can do, right? So it's a little bit of a lesson of patience and just taking things as they come, and then make the best. If life gives you lemon, you make lemonade, right? So make the best of this situation and explore your domestic market. I mean, whatever
That's
country
right.
you are, I'm sure there are things that people did not do before, thinking we've got the time. you know, we can do that later. Well, now is that later time, you
Is
know,
the
it's
time.
go out there in your back garden and explore all these.
Yeah. And Gaurav, in terms of the current COVID situation where people are concerned, what are some of the initiatives that you've taken within the resort to ensure the safety of the guests?
So Anantara, as a whole, the brand has taken a set of full program, which is called Stay with Peace of Mind, with strong recommendations with all the resorts. So as I mentioned, you know, everybody's wearing masks. That's something which has to happen. So for the purpose of the video, I removed it because I thought it would be nicer. I think we're sufficiently physically distanced through internet, but everybody's wearing masks. We've reinforced are already stringent measures of hygiene, right? A few things, but when guests check in, for example, we ask them, are they willing to have us doing the room turn down or the room servicing? So we're fully flexible in that terms. Our team members that get inside the rooms are wearing both masks and face shields as well as gloves. We are working very closely with Diversey in order to have the right products. Quite a few different things. Our tables are spaced, but I think here that's really one of our main chants. I'd say, being so far north, it's the area on which we're located. We've got 160 acres of land in the hotel, so there is a lot of natural physical distancing
That's
here,
huge. Yeah.
which makes it an area which, you know, I mean, if you want to have time by yourself, you'll have plenty of time by yourself. It's very vast. Our swimming pool is quite grand also, so we're lucky in that sense.
Yeah, that's so true. For people who are not very familiar of the difference in terms of the northern cuisine, northern Thai cuisine, and the southern, can you tell us about how northern Thailand dishes are different from what we get in south of Thailand, especially visiting Koh Samui and Phuket, and how is it different in a northern part? And
Absolutely.
Do you have influence from Laos and Myanmar as well in your cuisine?
Correct. So indeed, there are big differences, and I started discovering that actually about a couple of years ago when I arrived here, and I was quite amazed that some guests from all the way around the world were telling me, you know, in our area we've got now northern Thai restaurants and not just, you know, Thai restaurants. So obviously we're not close from the ocean, right? So we don't have a lot of sea fishes we have in the restaurants, right? But we use a lot of river fish, so river prawns, tilapia. And then the north of Thailand tends to have less spicy food than the south. I think that the more you get in closer to the equator, and then the closer you get to really hot and wet temperature all the time, the more spicy is the food. So it tends to be less spicy. It tends to be a bit maybe more curry. So as I said, you know, winter time gets quite cold, so you need food that is gonna make you warm. So more curries, a lot of pork. Of chicken. They have amazing sausage here, and the northern sausage is quite famous. Very garlicky, very tasty. We're very lucky in terms of the products we have, and also, you know, I mean, so the Golden Triangle, as I mentioned in the opening video, was well known for the culture of opium for many years, and then in the late 80s, early 90s, the government did a big crackdown on all this culture. And what they did is not just, you know, remove everything. They helped all the local farmers, which really, you know, cultivated opium because that's what made the most money for them. But they'd have been happy to cultivate anything else. And so they replaced all these cultures with a lot of organic agriculture, and this all comes from the World Project now, which is something quite famous in Thailand. And so you can find a lot of products grown locally with the stamp of the World Project, and through great methods of agriculture.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. We saw the Laos, the hills in the Laos area from your pool side. Are there any vantage point or areas within the resort where we can actually see three borders?
Absolutely. So if we are already, I'm not sure if we have the view of the suite already.
I think we
see.
have Linda over there.
Oh, there we go. Fantastic. So we are right now in the suites. So this is our top category product. It's 64 square meters, I believe, a massive bathtub, which is a favorite from the guests. Obviously, from the bathtub, you have a fantastic view on the outside and on the room. There you go. You can probably fit four inside there. So family bath, welcome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so from the suite, we'll see as we're heading on the balcony slowly that we actually see very well the three countries with the border on the Ruak. So this is the living room area that you see over there. And then as we're heading on the balcony is the full length of the suite. And so the
Wow.
mountains that you see on the back,
Yeah.
so we're right above the pool, right? So this is a gorgeous view. The mountains on the back are Laos. And then if Linda can just maybe point her finger on the Ruak River in front of the camera. There we go. So this is the natural border between Thailand and Myanmar. So what you
Okay.
actually see is right in front, we've got Thailand. Right
Yeah.
above Linda's finger, we've got Myanmar. And then in the back, this is Laos.
Wow. So three countries in one screen, three borders we
Correct.
can see
And
right now.
as we head up in the resort, but it was a bit too short in terms of timing to be able to also manage to get it on camera. As we head up in the resort, we can see some of our suites at the top have a view on the Mekong River also, which is
Okay.
legendary for obvious
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah. And I understand that you organize short day cruises as well in Mekong.
Correct. So one of our top activity when the borders are open is the three country tour, which enable you to head into Myanmar in the morning, come back inside Thailand during the day. Then we take you with a long tail boat and you head into Laos through the Mekong, and then get back on the long tail boat and you sail back toward the resort direct. So get the Mekong, get the confluence at the Ruak, and then head inside the Ruak and head back to the resort direct.
That's amazing. So in one day you could be in three different countries and back to
Correct.
Thailand again.
Correct. Which is something, I mean, you can also be in France, Belgium, and Luxembourg, but I
Yes,
think
within
it's
Europe.
not
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not the same golden triangle that these
Yes.
three countries, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
have the same charm or exotism.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's good to see that there are a lot of itineraries being curated around Mekong River. So here you have you can have the hotel stay with the bubble tent, enjoy and spend some time up close with the elephants, and then take a cruise around the Mekong River as well. So kind of brings in different experiences for a family with different interests as well.
Yes, absolutely. I think we've got the full package in terms of expenses. I'd say we have the cultural side of things, right, where you can explore the north of Thailand, understands the culture of things. You've got obviously the people side of things, where you're going to meet people from the north of Thailand. You're going to understand also how it's everything here. I would say is more authentic even than in the south. And then, well, you've got the adventurous side of things. You're in the jungle, you can sleep in the bubble, see the elephants. The mountain road that splits also Myanmar and Thailand from Doi Tung is amazing. So you can do trail, you can do mountain biking. We have it all, really.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Gotrick, do you have a cocktail session for us? That's very integral part of our cocktail hour series.
Absolutely. And Chita, I mean, you can see me, you can guess I've been waiting for that. So let me show you right here. So I've got kunyam. So I'm going to try and get the elephants also in there because, hey, there we go. And so kunyam is going to prepare for us a Thai Negroni, which is one of our signature cocktails here. So this is a twist on the regular Negroni, which is a all-time favorite of mine. So you have the Campari right here, so vermouth, which is being put, and then Martini Rosso, and the twist is that our gin is infused our gin is being infused in Thai tea from the north.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
from Choi Fung tea plantations, and so there we go. So you pretty much you put 1 dose of each, right?
Yeah.
And then you have a little peel of orange for the bitterness, and then there you go. You twist it, and she's going to be able to pour it. That's a fantastic cocktail. Why? Because it's very good and be very easy to make. A beautiful ball of ice, right? You want, especially in an area like here right now, which is really hot, you want to have a big ice cube, because then it's not going to melt really fast. So your cocktail is not going to be soaked in water, but it's going to remain very fresh. And as she's twisting the orange right now, there we go.
I think that's a perfect summer refreshing drink.
Cheers.
Cheers, Godric. Cheers for your reopening. I think it's been about 2 weeks, and we're looking forward to international border opening, so we can all be there with you guys.
Correct. I think that we're all looking toward that. We are, as I said also in the opening video, we're very much ready. I think that, make the most out of the domestic tourism at the moment, and of people being, stuck in the country. And I think that that's what's happening with Thailand right now. We are rather happy with the numbers we've seen this month, and with the number of guests that have visited us. It's nice, and the feedback is great. You have a lot of local Thai guests coming and telling us, well, we've been waiting all that time, and all we needed was a world pandemic to finally make it. And they're happy to visit. But yeah, we'll be happy to have, I think, we hope towards the fourth quarter, maybe bubble travels, and then have guests from Singapore.
No, I'm sure. And I think this weekend is a big one for Thailand. Being a long weekend, I'm sure there will be a lot of guests already booking to be in Chiang Rai and Golden Triangle.
We are actually full over the weekend.
Excellent. I think that's the way it should be. It's so good to hear. And Godric, as we wrap up our today's session, do you have any message for our viewers?
Well, I think that if you guys want, we also arrange live feeds daily on our foundation, GTAEF, where you can see our Director of Sustainability, John, roams our vast land, trying and keep up with elephants as they roam around. It's fantastic. We've done that during the entire lockdown. It's something that people in their home enjoy. It gives a fantastic, insight of the life of the elephants here. And then if people want to help because they can't travel yet, elephants, cost a lot of money every year to feed, about $18,000 of food per elephant. So, donation to the foundation, it's a non-profit, are always well appreciated in the meantime. But then as soon as people can travel, we can't wait to share our elephant views with them.
Yeah, and I think it's for a great cause, so people would love to contribute, and that's what people are looking for, where they can make a difference even during their vacations. And I think this is an amazing initiative and contribution for the conservation of elephants.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Godric, it's been wonderful having a conversation with you. Would you be able to showcase us this beautiful bubble tent that we've been seeing in pictures all over the world?
Absolutely. So let me briefly show you, so the Kunyam is still here. So this is the bathroom, which is the area which was hidden, but you can see that we've got right here. We've got toilets,
shower, vanity
and
room,
shower, right? Everything Italian shower with a little eye on the outside. And then so this is the bed, which is right here. It's a four-poster bed.
It's full, literally 180 degrees view on both sides.
Correct. So you can see, look, it looks like there is not even anything hiding it. And then the elephants are here. Yeah. Look, they've almost not moved during the entire session. I think that they're looking for shade now. So obviously overnight they move a little bit. And so I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna head out and try and show you quickly view from outside. So see, I didn't lie. The name of the bubble is
Pumpui.
Pumpui,
Okay.
which is the smallest of our 2 elephants here.
Okay.
This is the table where our guests would have dinner tonight. So we actually have bookings in the bubbles tonight in about an hour. And yeah, so this is the bubble right here.
That's a very unique experience in the neighborhood where I'm sure families or couples, it's suitable for both to enjoy these experiences. Wonderful. Thank you. It's been wonderful that you've taken us on this journey in northern Thailand. And we really love the bubble and especially the tent neighbors, our elephants. And I'm sure we'll be back again very soon. And I would like to thank all our viewers who've joined us today. And we hope that you really enjoyed this evening. Do join us next week, Wednesday, same time, for another exciting destination as we bring life for you. Thank you and have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.
Amazing. Bye-bye, guys. Thanks a lot for your time. Bye-bye.